But except they were giving gifts to each other.
Yeah.
You know,
All in the same spirit, all in that same
Jollity.
murderous spirit.
That's what they expect when they come to Vegas. Today's time, there's no new thing under the sun. When they come to Vegas, from when they get here, we checked in, okay, turn up. Where the drink at? Where the bar at? Where the club at? Let's go eat, let's go get it in.
And like the brother was saying about him having an excess of wine, it's the same thing today. Because niggas' favorite drink is Hennessy. And what is Hennessy? Hennessy is just grapes, man. You know, it's just fermented grapes, so it's the same exact thing.
Isn't Bacchus with the Benjamites? Isn't that what they worship? The Bacchanal? They call it Bacchanal out there, but it's the same thing.
Same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And all of this goes back to that same spirit that you live life to the fullest spirit. You only live one spirit. All right, that's what we're really getting at. That's the spirit that Esau portrays. Esau, what do you call it? Promotes. He promotes, and our people just go right along with it.
And all those luxuries, they basically made a god to themselves.
Yeah.
You know, all these things that they value so much, it's like they make it a god. It becomes a god to them. And that's where you get these concepts of the god of jollity. You know, just like jollity. You know, the god of the drink, the god of wine, the god of love, the god of war, the god of this and that. You know,
Queen of Heaven.
Queen of Heaven worship, because you worship women. You know, if they worship the creation, it's because of the too much pleasure that they get from it. Because the Most High, He created everything to be good and pleasurable to us. But you're supposed to use it in righteousness in its correct measure. You don't worship it, man. That's what that's what makes them base. That's what makes them heathenistic, man. Okay? Go ahead.
Verse 8, moreover, there went out a decree to the neighboring cities of the heathen by the suggestion of Ptolemy against the Jews that they should observe the same fashions and be partakers of their sacrifices, and whosoever would not conform themselves to the manners of the Gentiles should be put to death.
Yeah. You had a lot of Jake because they were afraid. You know, they didn't want to lose their life. They just conformed. And Jake to this day, you know, because they got beaten into us through slavery, so Jake naturally conforms to the way of their oppressor.
No, like you said, Jake got that can't beat him, join him spirit.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, if we don't do this, we gonna die. So why wouldn't we do it? You know, that's Jake's thing.
Yeah, let's not. So why not go and worship plantation Christianity? You know, why not go and vote and participate in this man's system?
Hey, that's why you got Jake saying let's build America.
Yeah.
You know, oh well, we can't have our own. Yeah, so you're gonna try to build a society within the society? That's still Esau stuff. Like,
you still got blacks for Trump.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, man.
And Latinos for Trump.
Yeah.
I got a pretty
The scriptures tell us not to conform to this world, man.
Why trimmest thou way to seek love? You want love from the world, though, instead of love of the Most High.
Yeah, man.
I got something real quick. Exodus 23:2. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wrest judgment. So that's what our people do. They follow. That's that wide gate that leaded to destruction, to do wickedness, to do evil.
Yeah.
You know, and you know what? A lot of them they're conscious of their wickedness, but they don't give a shit. They got that spirit where we gonna die anyway. We gonna, what else I'm gonna do?
Gotta die of something.
You know?
Yeah, Jake said, well, live in the moment because you never know when you're gonna go.
Yeah.
What kind of, that's demonic as hell. That's demonic, man. I got a 3-2. You got more in there?
That was it, bro. I'm gonna jump back in.
This Romans 13, and 12. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light.
Hey, because of our people, they're still sleeping in darkness, man. And this is how the enemy can basically catch you slipping when you're sleeping. Jake is basically distracted, man. Too high, man. high off of whatever, man. And as long as you're in that state, Esau can have his way with you. That's how Esau keeps you. That's why he keeps those dispensaries in your neighborhoods now. That's why you got all those the liquor stores, man. They keep you niggas numb and docile, man.
Do you think that you're the one bringing in all these drugs? You don't want to bring in the cocaine in that makes crack and whatever else? No. He knows he has to have that to come in. Why do you think he even changed the game into opioids now? Okay? He went took the opioids out of them Middle East countries, and now you're on opioids. So you can be on that defenseless state of mind, where the demons can just hop on you. And some of the drugs they put together are really putting a certain demon on you.
Why do you think that drugs are called dependence? Because you're dependent on that, and it gets you Esau. And Esau really wants you, Jakes, to get heavy on them opioids. You know, that's why they're trying to probably. That's why a lot. You know, think about it. They're probably replacing a lot of them that weed in these dispensaries with them opioids, man. To get you Jakes hooked, and they're putting up dispensaries everywhere, man.
Hey, right about now, Esau just throwing everything at Jake.
Yeah,
Hey.
Everything.
And another thing, though, a lot of these killings, a lot of these murders, Jake gets on that shit before they go out and carry out murders. They really can't do it without getting on this substance. They load themselves up so that they don't have any, so that their conscience don't bother them. And then they play their little demonic ass music to go along with it to keep the demonic spirits on them. And then they go out there and they just start airing shit out, man. They don't care if they kill a baby, an old person. Esau knows that, man.
Back in the day, it was called getting wet. You know, you'd be off PCP or dipping sticks or whatever.
Sherm or something.
Yeah. And Jake would get out there and, man, Tookie Williams.
To build off what your brother said, the rapper MC8, he made that album Music to Drive By. He said that he regret making it, you know, because Jake will get high, and then they'll get in that zone while that music is turned all the way up, and then just go air out places, man.
Low bass vibration attached to your nervous system.
Down in Mexico, the cartels, and these guys, they get high off that. They get high on meth and coke, and then they put on, it would be like a Mexican version of rap, which is called corridos, and it talks nothing about murder, drugs,
Same shit.
and they go out and they do that dirty work, man. You know,
3-6 Mafia.
how do you
same
chop
shit.
someone's head off while being sober?
You can't do that.
You can't do that shit while being sober.
Obviously, they under an influence. They under the
You
influence
got all
of
kinds of
demon.
demons in you,
You got
man.
spirits, man.
All kinds.
They're demon possession, man.
Man,
That
shit
engulfs
is.
our people, but hey, this is this type of stuff that the scriptures is warning about, man. Come out of the ways of darkness, man. Because our enemy, they have the advantage over us as long as we're in that state, man.
You listen to Cardi B, man, you tripping. What's going right now?
Yeah. You got to be a complete level demon to listen to anything that bitch says,
I'm
man.
about to say, if you're a man listening to Cardi B, you think it's all good, and but then guess what? Your woman now listen to her, your daughter or whoever, and then now they're gonna start to mimic that behavior.
Yeah.
And it's not all right.
You're going
That
to
bitch
lose your
has
woman
major demons, man.
and your daughter.
Yep.
You're gonna lose your woman and your daughter, man. Cause to be a thought, that's in.
Yeah, come.
That Cardi B city girl spirit, that's man. That shit is an epidemic, man.
That's why they changed
These
the
little
city
young
girl.
girls. That's why Jake is getting in trouble, beating their daughter's ass on camera, man. Cause they seen that spirit is getting their daughters, man. Yeah,
Hey,
you had one
do?
dude. There was one video on World Star with this older Jake. He basically got on his daughter's Instagram, I think, and he streamed live on her shit and basically was telling them, hey man, yeah, I know she's a thought, you know, she's a thought, but I'd like for y'all to stop, you know, hitting her page up, you know, stop DMing her, stop contacting her. You know, I'm her father, this and that. Yeah, she gonna be a thought. Thoughts are gonna. He was basically just. He was shameful, man.
Yeah.
That was some shameful shit to see, man.
Yeah,
People talking about him like that's not how you talk. You shouldn't talk about your daughter in that way.
Well, shit, the truth is
Well,
the
hey,
truth.
That's how they see her though.
hey, man.
I got a pre-real quick before my
Alright, this one, let's do.
Okay. Finish that.
Oh, you got some.
It's continuing. says, let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light. Let us walk honestly, as in
And what is the light? The light is what? The knowledge, man. The word, which Yahweh Shai is the embodiment of the word. That's why he's the light. And his light has shined upon us, so now we have the light. Hey, but the scripture saying John, basically our people hate the light. Because their deeds are evil.
The light shows their deeds. Their deeds are evil.
They would have to reprove themselves if they came into the light. But because they're so comfortable in their wickedness, that's why they don't want to come into the light. Okay? They speak evil of the light. So go ahead, bro. Go ahead,
Right. Let us walk honestly as in the day, not rioting and drunkenness, not in chambering and wantonness,
Great
Chambering.
millstone.
not in strife and envying. But put ye on the Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach, and make not provision for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof.
Yeah, because if you partaking in that, you're in darkness, man. Okay?
I had something. This is Sirach, chapter 7 and 16. Number not thyself among the multitude of sinners, but remember that wrath will not tarry long. Humble thy soul greatly, for the vengeance of the ungodly is fire and worms.
The judgment will come soon, man, sooner than you think. It will not tarry. The wrath is going to come quickly. The more you keep stacking against yourself, it's like they call it burn the candle at both ends. Well, the candle going to be gone, you burn at both ends. Okay?
That's why it says men go tarry to turn to the Lord, man.
But not all day by day.
Yeah. But suddenly the wrath of the Lord shall come upon you and a day of your security, man. Come on, man. So going back to that, back to Wisdom of Solomon.
Yeah.
Finish that and then go back to 2nd Ezra 7.
It's Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3. I'm sure like it, back chapter 2 and verse. I'll start at 12 and keep going. Therefore, let us lie and wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn. He is clean contrary to our doings.
Yeah, because we're of the light and they're of the dark. Okay? We have a different vibration. We bump heads, man. We're contrary to one another. Okay? Go ahead.
He upbraideth us with our offending the law, objective to our infamy and transgressing of our education. He professeth to have the knowledge of the Most High, and he calleth himself the child of the Lord. He was made to reprove our thoughts. He is grievous unto us, even to behold. For his life is not like other men's; his ways are another fashion.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Because he was, I'm from above, you from beneath. That was the spirit that our Lord was in, man. That was his vibration, man. Okay? He was filled with the Holy Spirit, man. Okay? So of course he was different. And they couldn't stand that. Every time they tried to come to him with some type of discrepancy or dealing in the law, they would always try to tempt him, basically, right? They would try to see where he was at, what he knew, if they could try to trip him up according to the law. And every time Yahweh Shai would outsmart them every time. And that's how they knew that he was different, man.
They was always trying to find an angle to get across what they wanted to do, to justify their wickedness.
Yeah.
But him knowing their thoughts, he read past the way they were wording things and the way what their intent truly was, and called them out on it.
He even performed miracles, and they still was trying to discredit him as the Messiah, man. Go ahead.
We are esteemed of him as counterfeits. He abstaineth from our ways. As for filthiness, he pronounceth the end of the just to be blessed, and maketh his boast that the Most High is his Father.
Yep. Showing you that that's talking about Yahweh Shai.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
He maketh the boast that the Most High is his Father.
Let us see if our words be true, and let us prove that we shall happen in the end of him. That was kind of it. I'm gonna jump back to that second Ezra 7, and I started at 42. He answered me and said, this present life is not the end where much glory doeth abide.
Therefore, and the past hour and a half, that's what we've been out here demonstrating, man. That this life is not what these heathens and what this damn devil says life should be about, man. Okay? This is not our life. We don't have a life. This is not how we're supposed to be living. Okay? So guess what? Yahweh Shah is coming back to finally give us that life. All right? That we may basically live out the rest of our days, which is going to be for eternally, man. Go ahead.
This present life is not the end where much glory doeth abide. Therefore have they prayed for the weak. But the day of doom shall be the end of this time, and the beginning of the immortality for to come, wherein corruption is past.
Yeah. Remember going back earlier, I said there's going to be a change, man. The standard is going to change. The manner, the way of life is going to change. All right, it's going to be a new world, a new system, a new hierarchy, man. The way that you know now is going to be a thing of the past, man. It's going to pass away with Esau, man. All right, and the rule of these other nations. Okay? And that's also when Israel's going to change. Because we're going to be changed into new bodies, all right? We're going to be changed into those glorious bodies, and that's where we're going to be programmed to live righteous. But we're going to keep the commandments and statutes perfectly. He's going to write it into our inward parts, into our mind, man. Okay?
Yeah, which the scriptures in Revelation 21, book of Tobit, it gives you an insight of what the world, the kingdom is going to look like. You know, you're going to have streets paved with gold. You know,
12 gates.
These streets are concrete. You know, it hurts your back. You know, just imagine the kingdom. Streets paved with gold, man.
Right.
Precious stones. You know, palaces as far as the eye can see. You know, the earth is going to be in abundance, man.
That's right, man. The day of doom is much needed, man. Because it has to burn off all this filth, the toxins, the chemicals, you know, the technology. They need to basically uproot all this fucking dirty ass, scum-filled concrete.
Everything
that's fucking up our knees and our back. Okay?
Everything.
All these groves, all these idols, you know, all this shit, man.
I remember the Gadites, you know, Esau built these roads over the bones of the Gadites, man. Right. He built this town on iniquity, man. Built this city, this United States on iniquity, man. On the bloods of the Native Americans, so-called Native Americans and Latinos, man. Right. You know, back to the Negroes. So-called Negroes, or basically Israelites.
Go ahead.
You know?
You finish verse 43?
Yeah, read this right quick,
Well, I did finish verse 43. I was at 44.
Oh, okay.
43 was the point?
Yeah, that was the point.
because you just said
It says,
everything.
incontinency shall be cut off.
No, I didn't read that.
You didn't read that part?
Intemperance is at an end.
Temperance is at an end. Right?
Infidelity.
Intemperance, right?
Intemperance.
Which means what? The lack of self-control. Okay? Everything is gonna go back to order on the day of the Lord, man. These people ain't gonna have the luxury and the freedom to do what the hell they want to do, man. The Lord's gonna make sure of that. Especially these nations, man. They need to be bound up. They need somebody ruling over them. They need somebody's authority, man. You look at how these nations are operating without authority, look at the fucking earth, man. Okay? It's crazy, man. You got Moab basically going tit for tat in the development of this perverse technology, man. Fake food, fake people, You know,
Splicing animals.
splicing animals, artificial embryos. You know what I mean? All type of crazy shit.
CRISPR?
Man. Yeah, CRISPR. Crazy, man. You know?
Yeah, they just said that they spliced a human and a monkey, you know?
Trying to make that evolution real, huh?
Yeah, they're really trying, man.
I was watching a show on PBS, and it was about these Edomites. They're trying to prove evolution, and the title of the show was a new Genesis. They were trying to rewrite it, and they're digging into hell just to find proof that evolution is true and the Bible is a lie. You know, these fucking devils, man.
You know what I'm saying? That's why the scriptures say that we should wicked is going to be defeated, man. He exalted himself above all that is called God, right? Showing himself that he is the Most High. He's going to try to write his own Bible soon.
Yeah.
He's already rewritten the Bible.
And you gotta take
The Bible's for homosexuals. And they're going to make it to where all these different printing press and companies that publish the Bible, they're going to have to basically take out certain pronouns and different keywords. That's considered offensive to this world. It's wicked as all hell, man. So really, they're going to try to change the word of the Most High.
You know they're going to take out that Revelations 22 where it says if you change this word and take away from this word, I will take away him out of the book of life.
That goes to show you that Esau was never written in it. You know?
This is 2 Peter chapter 3. I'm going to start up at verse 10. It says, "But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise." I'm reading this because you said we need the cleaning of the earth, you know, with this day of the Lord. We need that, right? It's going to keep going. It says, "And the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness, looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of the Lord, the day of God, you know, the Most High,
The day of doom.
yep,
Hey, the day of the threshing. Go ahead.
wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness. Yep, that's what this has to happen to cleanse the filth off the earth, so we can have righteousness and cleanliness on the earth.
Okay.
You know?
It's Hebrews 13 and 14. For here have we no continuing city, but we seek one to come, like the brother was just saying. Hey, we want we want a new earth. Hey, because the Most High, he's gonna put a hard reset upon this place, man.
Right.
Hey, because the scriptures tell you in Isaiah the 24th chapter, in the 5th verse, that the earth is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, man. Meaning what? The air is polluted, the minds of the people are polluted. Hey, the animals are polluted. Hey, the food we eat is polluted. Everything under this society, because it's ran by the devil, is messed up. Hey, because Esau doesn't care about the world. He just cares about his gain. What can he benefit off of having the top position, man? And he'll do it. And he'll do anything in order to get it, man.
Yeah, that fervent heat is the nuclear missiles, man.
Right.
Because in the scriptures, 200 million missiles are going to destroy America, man. All right? And we're coming to that time, man. You got the midst of the trade war happening. You know, it's about to be a currency war. And what happens after a currency war? Just all-out war, man. Just military against military, man. So we in that time, man. You know? And the Bible prophesies about World War III. You know, the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. You know, race riots in the streets of America. All right, class riots, civil wars. All right, animals moving out their habitations, coming into the cities, attacking people.
And I always gotta say this. Let's not forget that this was the animals' habitation at one time. You moved them out, and they're just coming back, hoping that there's life for them, their food and whatever, water, whatever else for them back in these areas. You can't continue to push something off his land and expect it not to eventually have to come back the more you squeeze them into a little corner. You know something?
I got it.
What was it, read? I read 2 Peter. You done with that? Yeah, New Heavens, New Earth, and Noble Firm. Yeah. Jeremiah 51.
It's Jeremiah 51:1. Thus saith the Lord, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind.
All right, this is the modern day Babylon, man. Babylon comes from the Hebrew word babal, which means confusion, man. America is full of confusion, man. The push of homosexuality, which that act is a confusing act, man. All right, there's no productivity coming out of that. All right, feminism. All right, that's a confusing act. All right, women over men. All right, there's no order in the households. All right, what's more confusing? The GMO, genetically modified organisms. All right,
So-called democracy.
which the so-called white man, he can follow the land Sabbath, and he ain't got to worry about making foods in labs. All right, the goddamn water's polluted. All right, you know we come out here, we're speaking for the earth, man. All right, we're speaking in the betterment of the earth, man. And this earth can't be better with the so-called white man ruling, man. This Edomite. All right, and if you are people, man, don't think Esau is the wicked according to the Bible, man. You're gonna be put down with wisdom. All right.
Verse 2, I will send upon Babylon banners that shall fan her and shall empty her land. For the day of trouble they shall be against her round about.
Man, what does that mean? He's gonna empty the land. He's gonna wipe out all you people, man. He's gonna evaporate and melt you people.
American Babylon.
Yeah, he's gonna take you out.
And all your prized possessions too.
Yeah, all your idols, all of that. Gone.
Against him that bendeth, let the archers bend his bow, and against him that lifteth himself up in his brigadine.
Yeah, that's basically the armies, man. All right, the armies of these other nations, man. They got their missiles ready, man. They're constructing missiles in their laboratories, man. All right, going to Isaiah 54. Can you get that? Isaiah 54.
It's Isaiah 54:16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire.
All right, in the ancient world, the guy that created the swords, the spears, the shields, he was called a smith, man. He was a blacksmith, right? Yeah, a smith. All right. So the modern
Smith just means maker.
Yep. So the modern day smith is what the scientists, man. The weapon scientists, man. All right. Them Germans, man, them Teutonites. All right, because was it during the Cold War? You know, Russia took half of the Germans, and America took the other half, and you know they created missiles, man, and steady creating them, man.
And technology.
You know, that's why Russia is that the Most High set up the Russians as a opposing force to America, man. All right, and Russia's going to destroy it, man. All right, with the missiles, man. You know, amongst other countries, you know that was Confederate with America. All right, go ahead, Al.
So like it real quick, if I may say, you brought up the German scientists, right? There was a German physicist by the name of Abraham Esau.
Oh, what the?
It says Robert Abraham Esau was a German physicist. After receipt of his doctorate from the University of Berlin, Esau worked at Telefunken, where he pioneered very high frequency waves used in radar, radio, and television, and he was president of the Deutscher Telefunken Verband, known for German nuclear weapons program.
Yeah, there you go, man. It's the spirit, man. Esau,
Woo.
man. Esau is that smith that creates the missiles. Can you read that?
This is Isaiah 54:16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy it.
The waster to destroy, man. The thermonuclear missile, man. All right. So that's the weapon that the Most High put in the so-called white man to destroy this place, man. All right.
But it was created for him.
Yeah, it's the Most High. Yeah, the Most High put it in his mind.
So the weapons of his indignation.
What? So is that Psalm 7? Yeah, Psalm 7 and 13, Bobby Shaw?
Psalm 7, verse 13. And it reads, He hath also prepared for him the instruments of death.
Yeah, those missiles are the instruments of death, man. All right. So it's the projectile weapon, man, as you can say, man. Because a missile is a projectile, man. A bullet is a projectile, man. All right. Go ahead.
Is continuing. He hath also prepared for him the instruments of death. So like it, can I go up the verse? This Psalm 7 and 12. If he turn not, he will wet his bow. He hath bent his bow and made it
what
ready.
does wet mean, man? Wet means to sharpen, man. He's sharpening. All right, these nuclear missiles, they have to go through phases of programming, man.
Okay.
You know, just like on your phone, you get updates and shit every year. These missiles, all right, these weapons of war has to go through updates as well, man. You know, they got computers in them, man. So you got to be constantly updating them, man. All right, because these nations they update their the software in their missiles, you know, to compete with one another, man. All right. Go ahead.
He hath also prepared for him the instruments of death. He ordaineth his arrows against the persecutors.
Yep, the arrows, the missiles, man, against the persecutors, man. All right, and you so-called white people, man, you've been persecuting the Israelites for the last 500 years, man. All right.
You go to the court system, and Jake goes in the court system, right? Persecutors are the ones that put you in jail. And it's usually Edomites. Or they're working for the Edomite agenda, either way. Okay? So you know who that is. You have visual and word association to the so-called white man that does that to you. Okay?
Back in Jeremiah, verse 7, 51 and 7. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine.
Yeah, drunken of her wine, man. The American dollar bill, man. All right. With George Washington. All right. Benjamin Franklin. Abraham Lincoln. Grant. Andrew Jackson. All right. That dollar, man, that dollar bill, man, that's that wine, man. All right, that's that philosophies of trusting in a paper currency, man. All right, and who's on it, man? The so-called white man, Esau, man.
And what's his slogan on there? In God we trust.
Yep.
And then E pluribus unum also. Mm-hmm. It's all going into his own power system.
Yep. That's not talking about the God of the Bible, man.
That's right.
Esau's talking about himself being the God, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Second Thessalonians God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Esau, he takes all the old philosophies, because actually the Chinese, the Moabites, came up with the fiat currency, man, during the 1300s, I believe, man. And Esau, he just readopted that, and
they had it back with something, right? Didn't they have it back with real?
No, because that currency failed. The paper currency always fails, man. Yeah. All right. So Esau, he just adopted that into his philosophy, man. His own way of life, man. And you see the effects of what the dollar's doing today, man. The dollar's ain't worth shit, man. All right, it's the belief behind it, man. Once that belief is taken away, the power of that dollar is gonna go back to zero, man. And I can't wait till the dollar go to zero, man, because you niggas, man, niggas with stacks of hundreds and shit, on fucking Instagram and shit, counting your money, nigga. Floyd Mayweather, the rapper niggas, man. You know, I can't wait till the dollar be worth zero, man.
That's right.
Until when they go in a state of hyperinflation, man. What you niggas gonna do then, man? All right, a little 20 G's ain't gonna buy a loaf of bread, man.
I got to pre real quick.
Yeah, don't let Esau get these niggas the reparations they're looking for, man. I hope the dollar crash the day after, man.
That's gonna be your reparations gonna be your ticket to the chip.
We'll take your reparations, but you're gonna have to receive it on this device that we have.
And that would work. That would work.
You know how many niggas on this sign is gonna receive that the missile stubs?
Hey, come down to your local chipping station with your birth certificate, and then we're gonna put your reparations.
You need all the paperwork. All the slavery paperwork.
All the slavery.
Your ID, the social.
Come with a copy of all that.
Birth certificate. They want everything. And Jake gonna dig up everything.
Oh, Jake gonna go to City Hall. He'll go to the records, all of that shit.
They gonna call their mama. Mama, you know where my birth certificate at?
Let me get it pretty real quick. So Habakkuk 2 and 15. Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that putteth the bottle to him, that maketh him drunk also. Start up. I'll start at 6. 5. Yeah, start at 1.
Just started one.
Habakkuk 2 and 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and I will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it.
Yeah, what's these tables, man? These are the scriptures, man. The Holy Bible, man. Go ahead.
For the vision is yet for an appointed time.
Yeah, the prophecies are yet for an appointed time. Go ahead.
But at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it.
Yeah, we're at the end, man. They're speaking, man. You see the prophets out here speaking, man. All right, telling you what's about to happen before it happens. All right, they're speaking, man. All right, Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right, putting in his men to speak the prophecies, the visions, man. All right, at the end day. Go ahead.
Because it will surely come and will not tarry.
It will surely come and not tarry, man. All right, it's coming, man. All right, you can see it if you're in the spirit, man. All right, it's about to be escalated, man. It's about to move to the next levels, man. All right, go ahead.
Behold, his spirit which is lifted up is not upright in him.
That's talking about Esau, man. All right, his spirit ain't upright, man. All right, what it say in the Psalms, man? When he come out the womb speaking lies, man. All right. So he comes out the woman's womb speaking lies, man. Being Edomite, man. All right. He has that serpent spirit already in him, man. All right. Go ahead.
But the just shall live by his faith.
Who's the just, man? The Israelites, man. The just man, man. All right, the just righteous man, man. You know, to the elect first and foremost. All right, should live by the faith, man. Faith is a gift, man. All right, to the elect, man. To the elect men, the prophets, man. All right, the prophet's gonna live by the faith, man. Go ahead.
Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man. Neither keepeth at home.
Yeah, Esau's a proud man, and he transgresses by his philosophies, man. All right, and he pushes on other nations, man, especially our people, man.
Hey, Salaki, I was going to say, that's why, like we said earlier, he has embassies everywhere. Because under his philosophy, the world is his. From that Job, the 9th chapter. So he realized the earth was given into his hand, the hand of the wicked. Okay, so he takes that power the Most High gave him when he has to have dominion, and in his season, and he takes it all over the earth, he rules. But he rules in wickedness.
Who enlarges his desire as hell and is as death and cannot be satisfied.
Yeah, enlarges his desires hell and his death, man. All right? Hey, he goes other nations. All right, he took over our people in the lands that they were dwelling in, America, man. All right? And what did he do when he took over America? It's death now, man. All right? Now the
very air you breathe is death, man. It can kill you, man. You know? Chemtrails every damn where, man. All right? You can't even drink the water out of the lake, man. It's so destroyed, man. So polluted, man.
No more mountain spring water naturally.
It's death and hell, man. And this fucking Edomite, he destroys the water, but you know he wants you to he bottles it up in plastic, which is that's death too. And he makes you pay for it, man. All right. If you don't see nothing wrong with that, man, just on that topic itself, man. All right, you are totally destroyed, man, and you need to be waiting for your destruction, man. All right.
If I may say, because Esau, you know, he's a wise man. He knows history. When have they ever came up with a study proving that during the other civilizations and empires prior to this one, have there ever been animals ended up on the endangered species list?
Time, bro.
Under any other rule,
Time.
when has this ever happened? I've had yet to have run into actual studies of that fact. Are you telling me that these other nations rule better than you?
That's what it is.
I'm just saying. And then when you put everything together, because he knows that the earth is fucked up, but what he tries to do is blame his false sciences on it. He's not going to take full responsibility for how he's fucking up the earth. He'd rather put it on climate change, global warming,
Overpopulation.
overpopulation. You know,
Bullshit, man.
he's gonna say, oh, it's humanity as a whole.
Yeah.
It's the activity of humans as to why the climate is changing. That has no bearing on the temperatures of the world. That's your fake, false pseudoscience that you're trying to use to justify putting chemicals in the air to block out the sun. That's what you're trying to do. Guys like Bill Gates, you know, come up with their own little agenda to be able to create, you know, their fake ass projects so that they can be able to make money and have the world thinking that these men are such a level, like they're on the level of a god, you know. Because I just read that recently, how Bill Gates, I guess it was some type of a professor, they had an idea of how to basically reduce climate change, basically to lower the temperature. And you want to know what their solution is? Spraying chemicals and aerosols in the sky, creating artificial clouds to block out the sun.
They're doing that now.
And they're already doing it.
That's what created it in the first place. Aerosols. Didn't they say they had to reduce the population or something like that?
See, he come up with all these strategies, all these ideas to do shit, and then when it results in people dying left and right, he gotta blame it on nature. He gotta blame it on climate change. He can't take full responsibility, man. This man he's clearly the devil, man.
Right.
Still reading. Who enlarges his desire as hell and is as death and cannot be satisfied.
Enlarges his desire as hell. He has an insatiable appetite. He cannot be satisfied, no matter how you say it. He can't rest until wickedness has been done.
He's basically ruling this whole world. You know, his influence is everywhere, but he still can't be satisfied. He wants to go to space and rule up there. You know, it's the spirit of this devil Esau, man.
Hey, he can never stop one of the ways you can tell that he's very insatiable and could never have enough is when is there ever going to be wars? When is he ever going to stop these wars?
Right.
He has to keep these wars going so that he can keep getting the riches. Because these wars brings him money.
Hey, whether he's in the middle of it funding both sides with weapons, or whether he's in it fighting the other side.
Yeah. Try to take this shit.
And if there's a fight breaking out that he's not a part of, he's the first to show up to see where he can find his angle to make enterprise off of it.
As long as he's insatiable, war will never stop, man. It will never stop. Ever since World War II, literally there was never been a time where there was no war.
They said since the existence of this wicked ass country, I think there had been maybe 5-10 years of no war.
Yeah.
Or no conflict with nations.
Hey, Khan, because like the brother just said, in Habakkuk, his desires is hell. You know, and the Rothschild, I believe it was either the Rothschild or one of the Rockefellers. They said, give me control of a nation's resources, and basically he don't care who run it. You know,
You don't care who runs the law.
Khan, he don't get.
Meyer Amschel Rothschild.
Khan, like the brother, can you say his name again, bro?
Meyer Amschel Rothschild.
Meyer Amschel Rothschild, man.
Bauer.
Yeah, Khan. He said he don't care who writes the laws. Hey, and that's because that's really what it's about. And Esau is messing up all the natural resources, man. Whether it's your air, your water, your source of meats, your source of vegetables, your produce, your fruits, yeah, your grains, all of that.
All the commodities of the earth.
Exactly. The necessities of life.
Hey, those outbreaks, the Ebola and all that, Esau makes sure it gets out of control to wipe out the people of the lands that he wants access to. That's what's going on in Africa. He wants that land. That's why it's actually a war happening while that Ebola thing is actually happening. People don't know that though. They're not showing you that in the media. Esau's over there setting up mercenaries and taking out whole villages because they got resources. They got oils and certain herbs and all type of stuff, vitamins, minerals. That's over there that they want.
But not only that, they're trying to get over there because they see China is heavy over there now. So they're fighting for it, kind of. That's why there's a lot of those Ebola outbreaks out there in certain parts of Africa.
And the Chinese are trying to impregnate those African women over there to plant their seed in that land. China thinks they got next to leadership of the earth. Let's be clear about it.
Yeah.
As harmless as they seem, with some damn heathens, they wicked as hell too.
Yeah, you all bites, man. Trying to uproot Esau, man. Trying to compete with Esau. But hey, the Lord got a judge to feed Moabites too. Ezekiel 35, I think it said punish Mount Seir and Moab. Punish Moab.
Yes, right?
Yeah, Moab. Start that Habakkuk.
I'll finish this. So back in Habakkuk 2, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long?
Yeah. Esau, man. Esau, you Edomites. You take stuff that's not yours, man. All right. You might go into a nation's country or something and say, oh, I want to set up something and give your children education and give you medicine, which the education, that's false. The medicine is pharmakia, so that's going to destroy your system. So whatever Esau is coming to you.